Hi, everybody. It is Matt Brown. It is 9 o'clock. It is time for the Monday Night Huddle show. Like I just mentioned, I'm Matt Brown, your host, and we have a great episode tonight for you guys. This is going to be our MLB preview show. I didn't even know if we were going to have a preview show, because we almost didn't have a season, but we're going to have a full season, and we have the best prognosticators in the business today, at least ones that I can afford to come on the channel. I'll tell you exactly what's going to happen in the MLB season. We're going to go through every division, give you predictions. We're going to talk about rookies tonight. We're going to talk about MVP, Cy Young Award winners, and tell you who's going to win the World Series. Before we do that, though, a couple announcements. We just started shipping our April hot boxes. They started shipping today. So they'll be in the mail, and hopefully we'll get all those done pretty soon. And just to give you not a special thing, but to let you guys know, don't forget, April 28th is going to be our live NFL show draft special where you can actually watch the NFL draft, first round of the draft, here on the Monday Night Huddle show. Special night, Thursday, April 28th, 8 p.m. We'll probably do from 8 to 10. We have about 4 or 5 guests lined up, including Card Chart Chris, RTS, Rob from RTS, Dave from Zero Fox Sportscards, and I have a couple other maybes that'll probably be joining us too. And we're going to be giving you all the great analysis on the NFL draft show. But before the NFL draft show, we got to talk about the MLB 2022 season. It's been a wild wind of trades and signings these last couple weeks, and we have all the additions that you guys need and breaking it down for you guys. So let me bring on one of my guests first. Let's bring on Card Chart Chris. Card Chart Chris, how you doing, sir?
I'm fabulous, thank you, Matt, and thanks for
you told me earlier you've been doing some special research for the show tonight. Can you tell me what you did, what you bought to help you out with this research?
Oh, for sure. This is definitely for the millennials and the Gen Y, Z, whatever's out there. See, I went to the store, the box store. I went to the section called the magazine section. Okay. And I picked up one of these things. It's called the Lindy's Baseball Preview. Let's get it right there. All right.
Wow.
And you put it in your bathroom.
Okay.
And then every time you go in there, instead of taking your phone, you pull out the Lindy's, do a little reading, decompress, and then go on your day.
There you go. And plus, you can write this off on your taxes, actually, now.
Yes, absolutely. This is a purchase made for the business. So absolutely, that is that's an $11 write-off.
Right. Now, if you're from my neck of the neighborhood, it's around Chambersburg, Pennsylvania, we had an adult dance club called Miss Lindsay's.
Miss Lindsay's, all right.
Now, all the women there didn't have their teeth, and I've heard some of my friends who went in said there was one girl that was pregnant. So it was a sketchy place, middle of nowhere.
Get what you pay for.
Yeah, you do. I never went though. Never went. My mom's watching the show, so I never went. So, all right. So Card Chart Chris is going to be joining us tonight. We also have the man, the myth, the legend. This guy's got more jokes than Chris Rock does. I'm talking about Rob the Shark from RTS. Rob, how are you doing, sir?
Good. I can also take a punch better than he can.
Can you take a slap though?
I can take a mean slap.
You can take a mean slap.
I was a little confused though. This thing that Card Chart Chris had, what is it called again? A magazine?
Something like that. I don't know.
Magazine. Never heard of those
I've seen them on like Kindles and iPads, but I didn't know they made a paper version of those.
Not familiar with that. But
crazy.
We'll see. Hopefully it has good info.
Hopefully it does have good information. All right, I want to thank you guys for both joining us tonight. What we're going to do is we're going to go through each division. We're going to first, before we start talking about each division, I'm going to tell you about the key additions for each division and the key losses for all the teams, and then we're going to discuss those divisions. So we're going to start off with the National League East, and let me tell you guys about the quick additions. Jorge Soler signed with the Marlins from Atlanta. Atlanta brought in Matt Olson and Kenley Jansen. Philadelphia has brought in Nick Castellanos and Kyle Schwarber. The Rob's Mets, of course, they brought in Max Scherzer and Sterling Marte. And losers, let's see, the Braves lost Freddie Freeman. That's a big one. We're going to talk about that in a second. Andrew McCutchen has left Philadelphia. The Mets lost a lot of people too. I didn't know they lost this many people, but Javier Baez is gone, Michael Conforto gone, and Marcus Stroman is gone as well. So let me bring on both my guests. First, we're going to talk a little bit about the Atlanta Brave trade because that was big news. So can you guys, I want to know what your thoughts were about the Braves move to get Matt Olson, or was it Matt Olson? Yeah, Matt Olson, and to get rid of Freddie Freeman. Let's first start with the guy who has the magazine. Let's start with Card Shark Chris. What did your magazine say? It probably doesn't even have anything in there about it. But what was your
like this was printed like back. This was printed back in November or something. This was printed a while ago. No, but I can tell you here, because I live just outside of Atlanta, that they're definitely mourning the loss of Freddie Freeman. And while I think Matty Chapman is a good player, possibly an upgrade at third base for who they have there, Freddie's going to be felt, man. He was the face of the franchise for a long time. When I moved out here, he was about 6 years ago. So it's going to be really hard to replace that. But I'll tell you, I think, having Ronald Acuna healthy for a full season and combined with a Matty Chapman can kind of help ease that. But I mean, there's going to be maybe a loss of a presence in the locker room, I think, with Freddie gone. Definitely.
Now let's go over to Rob the Shark. I want to know what your thoughts were about the Atlanta trade, and also a little bit about Christian Pache, who was traded from Atlanta to Oakland for Freddie Freeman, and what is that, Shea Langeliers, I think his name was. I don't know if you know much about those two prospects, but could you talk a little bit about those, Rob?
Well, I will say that Freddie Freeman was one of the most underrated players in Major League Baseball. I mean, obviously he got the MVP a couple of years ago, but still is a presence that I think is going to be missed greatly in Atlanta. I'm not too familiar with Shea Langeliers, and Christian Pache is going to be a loss as well. We'll see what Matt does for the Braves in the future, though. But Freddie Freeman is just going to be a big loss for the Braves. Big loss.
I think so too. And I think they could have. I don't even know if they actually even offered Freddie Freeman a contract from what I've been reading, back and forth. And Shea Langeliers, from what I read, was like the Braves, I think, about number 2 prospect on their team. So great hitting prospect. Pache came up last year, did okay, but not great, but he didn't get a lot of chances. But I think he's going to flourish out there in Oakland, I hope. All right, let's bring on both of our guests. Let's talk about the National League East. Who is going to win the National League East? Let me know what your predictions are. Let's go with Mr. Magazine, Card Shark Chris. Let me know who is going to win the National League East.
Man, it's going to be a tough one. I say, I think the Braves could repeat. The Mets are whatever. I think the Philadelphia Phillies have a fairly solid team. Pardon me, Zach Wheeler, hell of a pitcher. Washington's lost a ton, so I don't really see anything awesome from Washington. Miami Marlins, I think they got some pieces. They're still a few years out. So if I had to guess, I would probably bet on the Braves repeating.
Braves repeating, even though they lost Freddie Freeman, you don't think that's going to be that big of a difference?
I think it will, but I mean, if you really look at the division, maybe the Mets, but I mean, they're the Mets. To me, the Mets throw money at things. They do make big moves, but it never translates to the field. I'm sorry, Rob. I wish it would.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, again, Washington lost a lot. Miami's still a few years away. So I think it's going to be between those two. I wouldn't be surprised if Miami or Philadelphia, finish second, but I kind of think the Braves.
All right, Rob, what about your Mets? Can the Mets do it this year? Who's going to win the National League East?
The Mets are going to win it. I mean, the Braves had a shot to keep, obviously, Freeman, Pache, and I would have given them first, but not just being a Mets fan, the Mets are going to win this division. I mean, the addition of Max Scherzer, I mean, just think about that for a second. Jacob deGrom, Max Scherzer. I mean, 1-2's got to be the best 1-2 in baseball right now. Obviously, pitching, wins games. We've got Alonso. Hopefully we can sign Conforto. I don't know if anything dropped today on news of him, but we still got Michael Conforto. I don't know if the Mets are going to pick him up, but we've got Francisco Lindor looking really good in spring training. I mean, we're winning games like 16-3, 16-3, 16-3 in spring training right now. I mean, I just think if the Braves would have kept Freeman, Pache, I think they would have given the Mets a run for their money. But I got to give it to the Mets, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a fan. I mean, the Mets are going to win it. It is going to be a really tough division. I mean, you still got some strong pitching from the Philadelphia Phillies, as Card Shark Chris mentioned, Zach Wheeler, former Met, but the Mets are going to win it.
And Zach Wheeler, former San Francisco Giant. Let's not forget that, folks. I agree with Rob, actually. I think the Mets are going to win this division. I think the Braves are really going to miss Freddie Freeman. I don't think Olsen's going to be even close to comparing with that. I think the Mets have it. If as long as Scherzer and DeGrom can stay healthy, that's going to be the big thing. If one of those guys goes down, then of course they're going to be in trouble. But if they can stay healthy, I'm going with the Mets because I know the Phillies are going to suck. They choke every year, guys. I'm from around the Philadelphia area. Let me tell you, the Phillies are not going to win. All right, I want to thank everybody for coming in. It looks like we got Mike Vance in the house. Let's see. I think Rob, I think this might be somebody related to you, but they think you're a babe. Okay, so just thought I'd show you that there. I'm guessing that's your sister, maybe. I don't. Is that your sister?
I'm from Jersey, not Kentucky.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I spent two hours on hair and makeup today, so.
Well, you did. You look good, man.
Yeah, I think it's paying off.
And I wish Card Shark Chris would have spent that long on his hair. So, all right.
I think it's looking good, Chris. I think it's looking good.
Yeah,
Thank you.
You can pull it off. You can pull it off.
It's got the shine, man. Got the shine. All right, let's go over to the National League Central. Let me find my notes. National League Central. Marcus Stroman has gone to the Cubs. The Cubs also signed Seiya Suzuki of the Cubs from the Japanese League. I was hoping my Giants would get him, but Chicago ended up with him. St. Louis ended up getting Steven Matz, and they just signed Albert Pujols, I think, yesterday or today. And then Milwaukee got Andrew McCutchen. Not a lot of additions to the National League Central. And the major losses all came from one team, Cincinnati Reds. Castellanos is gone, Sonny Gray's gone, and Suarez is gone too. I think the Reds have pretty much given up on this division, but we will have to see. Let's bring on Rob the Shark. And Ken, not many people talk about the Pirates, but could the Pirates maybe not finish in last place this year in the National League Central? Do you think they got a really good opportunity to not finish last?
I think they have a shot. I mean, they're a young team. They got a lot of great prospects. So I don't have them in last, but I have them very close to last. I mean, it really depends on what these prospects are going to do for them. So we'll see.
Hopefully, maybe this will. I got a lot of Cabron Hayes rookie cards. Hopefully, this is Cabron's year. All right, I need to cash in. I need to cash in. All right, Card Shark Chris, what do you think about the Pirates? Not many people will talk about the Pirates on the preview show, but we're going to do that today. Can the Pirates maybe not finish in last place?
Yeah, I heard once that a blind squirrel even catches a nut, but that's not true. Because let me tell you something, blind squirrels die fast because they can't see the predators coming. So that's a fact, kids. So when someone tells you that a blind squirrel will catch a nut, no, it won't. It'll probably die because it's blind. However, the Pirates, man, who cares really? That's just my opinion. It's a beautiful ballpark. But if they're going to finish last, second to last, it don't matter to me. I don't think it matters to anybody in Pittsburgh, maybe to Robert Jenkins, but that's about it.
I think Jab matters to Jabs. Maybe he might care.
Possibly. That's my Bob Dole pencil right there.
Bob Dole. Actually, probably most of our viewers don't even know who Bob Dole was.
No, they don't. They so don't. Oh my God, we're getting old.
Yeah, tell me about it. All right, so you don't really care about the Pirates, but they have a chance, I think. The way the Reds are doing a fire sale this year, I think they got a really good chance to.
And that's kind of disappoints me because the Reds are one of those, I don't want to say small market, but kind of a mid-market team that, could pack that stadium and do really well. But that's kind of what I expect for Milwaukee this year. Look for Milwaukee.
Well, why I have you on, tell me about the National League Central. Who's going to win the National League Central?
You know what? I'm so glad you asked, Matt. Milwaukee's going to win the Central, and I'll tell you why. They got two of the best starting pitchers in the National League. They got one of the best relief pitchers. Christian Yelich might actually have a decent season this year. They've got some decent players. The ballpark is great. It's a small market team. They're due. The NBA just won over there. I think the Cardinals are still a good team. I mean, look at the corners. Goldie, Arenado, they're still solid. So it should be a good race between those two teams.
I think so too. Let's bring on Rob the Shark. What do you have going on for the National League Central, Rob? Pretty much everybody's given up except for two teams, really.
Yeah, it's really going to come down to the Brewers or the Cardinals. I have it close, but I have the Cardinals. I think they've spent some money, and I think it's going to pay out this year. I have the Cardinals just slightly over the Brewers in the NL Central.
All right, I'm going to go with Card Shark Chris on this one. I'm going with Milwaukee. I don't think St. Louis has done enough to overtake Milwaukee. Milwaukee really hasn't done much either. All they did was add Andrew McCutchen, but really St. Louis, the only thing they really added was Steven Matz, a decent pitcher, but I don't think he's going to put him over the top compared to what Milwaukee's got for pitching. And of course, yeah, they signed Albert Pujols, but that was kind of just like, a come back for your last year, then retire as a Cardinal, basically. So I think definitely Milwaukee is going to be the team in the National League Central. Let's go out to a division in my heart, the National League West. Oh my goodness. First off, I can't even believe my Giants won the division last year. I am not predicting the Giants to win the division this year, but I just want to just remember that glorious season last year when we actually won the division. And then we lost in the playoffs, which really made me sad, but that's okay. All right, key additions. My Giants have added Carlos Rodon. I think that's how you say his name. Jock Peterson. San Diego bringing in Luke Voigt from the Yankees, if he can stay healthy. Colorado surprisingly bringing in Chris Bryant on a big year deal. And of course, the Dodgers bringing in Freddie Freeman, or as I like to call them, the new evil empire, the Dodgers. And then key losses. My Giants lost a lot. Posey retired. Gossman's gone. Chris Bryant is gone too. Colorado lost Trevor Story, John Gray, and the Dodgers lost Scherzer and Corey Seager and Kenley Jansen. That is a lot off the Dodgers. Let's bring in Rob, talk a little bit about the National League West. We didn't talk about San Diego too much, but how worried are you about Fernando Tatis and these injuries? This is getting like every year now. He seems to have like a major injury.
It's a big thing. He's having trouble with injuries. I don't think it's going to be a long-term thing for him. Obviously, some of it's just bad luck. It happens in baseball, I think. But I think in a 20-year career, which I expect him to have 15, 20 years, I don't think it's going to be a long-term solution for him. I think these are just kind of fluke accidents, but we'll see it. And it's going to be a big loss for the Padres. I mean, I had the Padres really competing for the division, and I know baseball isn't one man, but Tatis is a huge hit to take for a while. I just don't see the Padres pulling it out this year.
Definitely. Card Shark Chris, tell us a little bit about Fernando Tatis. And also, BAA Sports wants to know, will Trevor Bauer play this year? I'm going to leave that one to you also.
No, Trevor Bauer won't play this year, and he probably shouldn't. Not a big Trevor Bauer fan. Talented, but upstairs, he's a little lacking. See, this is going to be the Dodgers, and it's going to be a runaway. Depending upon how long, like Rob said, Tatis Jr. is going to be out. The Giants overachieved last year, so I expect them to finish probably middle of the pack. But again, they might win 70, 80 games or so, maybe. But the Dodgers with Freddie Freeman, few players gone, but I think that overall they are the cream of the crop for sure of the West. And the Chris Bryant to Colorado thing just baffles me. I mean, that can't be anything but just wanting to go take the money and maybe jack some balls out of, that stadium there. But there's nothing there.
And if you're Colorado, why don't you just give that money to Trevor Story, a younger player whose his whole roots were in Colorado? Why not give Trevor Story that money instead of Chris Bryant?
Yeah, it's interesting. I wondered that too.
It is. All right, let's bring on Rob from RTS. Tell us about the National League West. Who's going to win the National League West?
It's gotta be.
Are you going to suck up to the host and say the Giants?
No, I'm not. It's gotta. I think they didn't do enough in the offseason. They would have had to keep Bryant. I mean, obviously, Buster Posey going, but I see Joey Bart coming up. I think the Giants are going to be a good contender for a couple of years, but you got to give it to the Dodgers. I mean, obviously with baseball, it's just an unfair game with these with no salary cap. The Dodgers just have too much money. especially versus, the Padres. And Padres could have been a contender, but they just don't have the money to sign the big names. It's got to be the Dodgers. I mean, if there's any division, I'm so sure of, the Dodgers are going to win that division.
But you probably would have said that last year too, wouldn't you?
I would have, and I would have been wrong.
I would have been too. I think these guys are right on the head. I think the Giants will do well, but I think they're going to drop back. The biggest thing for my Giants is losing Buster Posey. That's the biggest piece that we're going to lose, and we're going to be down pretty far, I think. We do a great job of getting pitchers back, like Gossman, getting them back pitching well. We got some good guys coming in this year, like was that Matthew Boyd from Detroit and a couple other guys to get their careers back on track. Giants have had a good track record doing that with Alex Wood and a bunch of other guys, but it's going to be the evil empire. The Dodgers are going to take the National League West. Even if Tatis was healthy, I don't think they got the pitching or anything. That's the one thing that worries me about the Dodgers, though. Losing Kenley Jansen, and you're not going to have, who else they lost? What's the other? Oh, Corey Seager. They lost Corey Seager too. I don't think that's going to hurt them too much, but I think Jansen leaving might hurt them a little bit. Their pitching wasn't great anyways, besides Walker Buehler. And I don't know if Kershaw retired or not, but he's been hurt a lot. But their pitching could be their Achilles heel on that one. All right. For those of you guys on our Facebook page and our YouTube page, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button if you're on our YouTube page. And we're going to do a giveaway right now. Rob the Shark, I'm going to bring him back on because Rob told me he had a Wander Franco he wanted to get rid of. And I don't know why he wants to get rid of this. But
I ordered a bunch of these when they first went live. These are the Wander Franco Topps Living rookie cards. Now, I'm going to give away this one right now, and you got to stick around because I'll give another one during my Rob's Rookies segment. Now, everyone get ready to type because it's going to be a trivia question to win this. When was the last year that my New York Mets won the World Series? What year? Put it in the comments below. Matt, if you can help me, I can't see the chat. So
I will let you know
who puts in the correct answer first. And I will send you this Wander Franco Topps Living rookie card. I ordered about 10 of these, and I did pick out about a few of the best ones that were very nicely centered, very, very nice. So if you do win, make sure you email me, rtssportscards@gmail.com. Do we have a winner?
Well, I don't know what the answer is. Okay. I can tell you some of the answers. So if I know what the answer is, I think. But 25 Perez says 86. I'm guessing he means 1986 or 1886. I don't know.
1986, yeah.
Adam McKenzie says 1986. Chris Ellis says 1986. And Mike Van says that's a nice looking card. I'm expecting one for Christmas. Okay. So I'm guessing Rob's going to send me one for Christmas.
We'll send 5.
Yes. So 25 Perez. What was the correct answer?
Correct answer was 1986. I was a young Rob the Shark sneaking in my radio late at night because I couldn't stay up to watch it on TV. And it was what made me a Mets fan. I mean, early on with Dwight Gooden and Darryl Strawberry, I loved Len Dykstra, even though it kind of ended up being a scumbag in life. He was just such a hard player. They called him Nails. I loved those 1986 Mets. And that documentary they had on ESPN was awesome.
Yeah,
yes, 1986. Love my Mets.
That was like the first World Series I kind of remember. Do you remember the guy parachuting in?
Yes.
Yeah. I remember that. That was like the big thing I remember out of that whole thing.
Yep.
But that was a great World Series. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break. Make sure 25 Perez, make sure you get a hold of RTS over there. Or Rob, you might already have 25 Perez's information.
Just Instagram me or something.
Yeah, send him a message or send me a message and we'll get that out to you. We're going to take a quick break and then we're going to come back and talk about, man, I've had the National League East thing going up forever. Look at it. There should be the Central, there should be the West, but I forgot. All right, let's take a quick commercial break and we're going to come back and talk about the American League right after this. Are you tired of going to the store and finding all the shelves bare of your favorite sports cards? Well, I got the solution for you. It's Hotbox Cards. Hotbox Cards is a sports card subscription service. And what's even better, Hotbox Cards is affordable. No more than $100, $150, $200, $300 sports card subscription boxes. I'm talking Hotbox Cards at $29.99 plus shipping. You can't beat that. And you can't beat the variety. Most sports card subscription boxes are all about packs. Here, we like to mix it up. Every box, you're going to get 3 unopened packs. You're going to get 50 bonus cards, plus 3 game use or autograph cards. And we'll even ask you what your favorite team is. We try to give you one of those game use or autograph cards to be one of your favorite teams. So you got to check out the website, hotboxcards.net. You are going to love it. Plus, we give bonus items every month. Every month, we have a different theme in our boxes, and we give free items in every box. You can't beat it for $29.99. Check out the website, hotboxcards.net, and become a subscriber today. All right, we are back. Make sure you check out hotboxcards.net. Near and dear to my heart, let me tell you. We started shipping our April boxes this week. Started shipping them today. So April boxes are already in the mail. So get your orders in. If you're not a subscriber already, go to hotboxcards.net. Like they said, only $29.99. Plus, if you check out Card Shark Chris's YouTube channel, there might be a promo code over there. Get something extra. So just to let you know about that. All right, let's go back to let's talk about the American League East. The American League East. Or some people like to call it the American League Least. I don't know. Some people do. So let's talk about the key additions to the American League East. Kevin Gossman has gone to Toronto. Toronto also brought in Matt Chapman off the Oakland fire sale. Trevor Story surprisingly went to Boston here last week or so. Tampa Bay brought in Corey Kluber, and the Yankees brought in Josh Donaldson. Key losses, Marcus Semien and Robbie Ray and Steven Matz have all left Toronto. There's 3 big players that they lost. And the Red Sox lost Rodriguez, their pitcher. The Yankees got rid of Voit, Gary Sanchez, and Corey Kluber. They are gone as well. So let's bring on Card Shark Chris and talk a little bit about the American League East. I want to know, Card Shark Chris, how does Tampa Bay keep winning? Like their payroll is always toward the bottom. But it seems like the last 4 or 5 years, Tampa Bay has either been first or second in the American League East.
Yeah, I think they do a really good job with their analytics, and I think they have a pretty good scouting department. They draft well. They don't overpay for players, which is huge, really. And they can't really because look where they play, and it's not like the attendance. Come on now, but they have terrific young talent. Wander Franco, Randy. They've done it right. It's taken them a while, and being consistent is a sign of having a good ball club and having good upper management.
Yeah.
Good GM.
Definitely. They've done a great job. I don't know who the GM is down there, but
I couldn't tell you either.
Whoever he is, I'm sure the other team should be trying to scoop him up, I would think. All right, let's bring on Rob. Tell us a little about Tampa Bay. You're a big prospect guy. Tampa Bay always has the good prospects. How does Tampa Bay keep going year after year, being one of the top teams in the American League East?
You guys basically said it: prospects and Moneyball. They just they do well with the small salary cap they have. They're bringing in guys that prospects, and they're playing the Moneyball correctly. Sorry, I had a notification there.
Oh, that's okay. So while we have you on, Rob, talk a little about who's going to win the American League. Is it going to be Tampa Bay again, or are we looking at the Yankees, Red Sox, Toronto, or heaven forbid, Baltimore?
It's not going to be Baltimore. Let's get that out of the way. Tampa Bay, I don't know how they did it last year. I don't think they're going to get as lucky. I did have Toronto, but losing Robbie Ray and Steven Matz, Matz maybe not so much, but a big pitcher in Robbie Ray. Matz was a decent pitcher, former New York Met pitcher. But I hate to say it because I'm a Mets fan, but I think the Yankees are going to take the division. Again, with the salary caps, or not non-salary caps, just so much money for the Yankees. They just have the money every year to win it. I don't know how they don't win it every year, but I do see them winning it this year.
Yeah, and really, Toronto did not replace those 2 starting pitchers really that much, and so we'll see what happens. All right, Card Shark Chris, what does Miss Lindsay say? Who's going to win the American League East?
They're going with the Blue Jays. So, and we will read directly from Lindy's. The Blue Jays are building a pitching staff that the legacy guys and other hitters can be proud of. Here, let's do it like I'm reading to my kids. There. That's what it says, folks. So I can't even get it to focus on the camera. So yeah, they got that Kevin Gaussman, Alex Manoah's not far behind Jose Barrios. That's what Blue Jays. But like Rob said, the Yankees are never going to be far behind because they can throw money at things and players want to go there. That's all I got, man.
I don't think Toronto's going to do it. I'm going to go with Tampa Bay. Why bet against Tampa Bay? They had Corey Kluber. They didn't really lose anybody, I don't think. At least not that I remember. Maybe Nelson. I don't know if Nelson Cruz was down there, but I think Tampa Bay is going to be right in the hunt with that. I don't see the Red Sox doing well. The Yankees, I don't know. It depends on if they're close during the break or when they get close to the trade deadline. Maybe they'll add somebody then. But really, the Yankees, a lot of their guys don't. I think it's going to help them getting rid of Gary Sanchez. Really, I know Yankee fans are very excited about getting rid of Gary Sanchez, so that might be a positive thing. And I do have to talk a little bit about Baltimore. So because my mom's a big Baltimore Oriole fan. Listen to this guy. The Orioles moved their left field back like 5 or 6 feet and increased the wall size in Baltimore. You're going to see less home runs at Camden Yards, folks. I'm not saying Baltimore is going to win. But I think they might do a little bit better. Plus, they have a really good young team in Baltimore. So I think you might see if the owner ever decided to spend some money. Who knows what could happen? But I'm going with Tampa Bay, of course, for the American League East. All right, let's go over to the American League Central. This division I know is near and dear to Card Shark Chris. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But the key additions to the American League Central, Kansas City bringing back Zach Greinke for a second go around. Detroit spending some money, bringing in Eduardo Rodriguez and Javier Baez. And Minnesota going out big too, going Carlos Correa, Sonny Gray, and Gary Sanchez. Key losses are Rodon, whatever, for the White Sox, and Josh Donaldson for Minnesota. Let's bring on, I forgot who I brought on last. So let's go with Rob this time. Rob, National League, American League Central. Now first, I want to save one question for Card Shark Chris because he's a big Detroit fan. So you tell me who's going to win the American League Central. What are your thoughts on the American League Central?
American League Central, I think it's going to be a pretty big landslide with the White Sox. I mean, I do like what the Tigers have done, and I do see Riley Green stepping up as he's going to be one of the prospects I think is going to make an impact for the Tigers this year. And I think the Twins are going to be okay, but I definitely see the White Sox in kind of a landslide in that division.
All right. That's going to be part of my question to Card Shark Chris. You're a big Tiger fan. Who's a better prospect, Spencer Torkelson or Riley Green?
Oh, it's Riley Green for sure. Riley Green can play the outfield, every position in the outfield. I mean, playing center at Comerica Park, it's a cow pasture out there. Okay, so I mean, they've never had anybody. They've either taken speed out there over any kind of hitting because they have to cover ground. But Riley can play many positions. Great all-around hitter. He's got decent power. Hits all sides of the field. As Torque, I see Torque more as, your masher. You're going up there and he's just going to hit the ball. Where Riley, he's going to be able to spray it around. It's got average to slightly above average speed. I really like Riley Green.
I do too, because I saw one minor league game this past year, and it was Detroit's minor league. They had Torkelson and Green on the same team, playing my Harrisburg Senators. The Detroit team killed them, destroyed them, but Torkelson struck out 3 times in a row, and Riley Green had 2 or 3 hits. Just that one game tells me Riley Green is a better prospect.
Yeah, I will tell you one person to watch for the Tigers is a kid that played at Ohio State as a catcher. I think he'll probably start. I believe he's going to start in Double-A Erie. Is Dylan Dingler. He's going to be the future. Yep, Dylan Dingler, not Dirt Diggler, Dylan Dingler. So we got to make sure.
What about cousin Jake?
Cousin Jake, he was actually doing well last year, and then he got hurt. So they let go of Grayson Grenier. He's gone. So they got cousin Jake and a couple other catchers. So they haven't given up on him. We will see him later on at Uncle Kenny's barbecue course, Uncle Kenny Pass. But, cousin Jake comes down. We still go back to Tennessee, have a good time, have some fried chicken, man. It's good.
Hey, gotta love cousin Jake. So, since I have you on here, American League Central, who's going to win the American League Central? Could your Detroit do it?
No, not even close. But I think like Rob said, it's hands down the Chicago White Sox, and I don't even think it's close. I think the Tigers and maybe the Royals, maybe the Twins. I mean, I think the separation is going to be small between those other four teams. But the separation between one and those four is huge, if that makes any sense at all. That's really what I think. I mean, Carlos Correa going to, I mean, the Tigers should have had him. They could have paid for him. But Illich is cheap. He didn't want to pay the money. So they let him go to Minnesota. Like Minnesota.
Have you ever been to Minnesota? I've been to Minnesota.
It's cold. I bet it's beautiful, but it's cold. I mean, Detroit, at least you get to wear the old English D. You go have some mom spaghetti. You know, I mean,
they have a big mall.
They do. There's roller coasters inside the mall. That's nice. I mean, but it's Minnesota. You know, it gets a little cold up there. You know,
it does get a little cold. So I would have to agree with you guys. Definitely, I think the White Sox. It's kind of interesting. I think for the American League Central, you see teams really. The Tigers stepping up, adding, some good players. And you saw Minnesota actually bringing in quite a few players. I didn't think many teams actually thought they had a chance against the White Sox. The only thing I worry about the White Sox is the pitching. They have great young hitting, but, can their pitching keep up? They lost an all-star in Carlos Rodon, or however you say his name. I'm never going to get his name right. But they lost him, and he was a pretty good pitcher for them, one of their better ones. They got Michael Kopech, and I can't think of anybody else, really. But is White Sox pitching going to be enough to carry them? But I think they're hitting with Jimenez and Robert and everything. I think that will definitely carry them through the American League Central. All right, let's go out to the American League West. American League West, key additions. This is not a key addition, but a guy who's coming back from injury is Justin Verlander for Houston. That could be a very big addition for Houston this year. Noah Syndergaard going to the Angels. Seattle spending some money getting Robbie Ray and Junio Suarez, and Texas spending a lot of money. Marcus Semien, Corey Seager, John Gray. Key losses, Oakland had a fire sale, getting rid of Olsen, Chapman, and Sterling Marte, and Houston losing Correa and Zach Greinke. Let's bring back on Card Shark Chris and I want to talk about the Angels. Should the Angels think about trading Trout? Because they're wasting him, really. Like, it's getting crazy after a while.
Right. 36 games last season that's missing a lot of time. And it would have to be, I think he would have to play well, kind of prove that he is healthy, stay healthy, produce a few numbers, and then I think they can maximize his value. But yeah, I think at this point, you've got some definite pieces there in Ohtani and Rendon. Sorry. If he can play well and you can get a good deal for him, now you don't want to give him away. See, that's the thing is he's got to play well and you don't want to give him away just, to kind of move on. But I like the comment right there from Mike Vance. The Mariners went out and spent some money and got some people too. Now they're the Mariners and I don't think they've won the division in, I don't know how many years. It's been a while, but that should be interesting. Again, the Rangers threw some money out there too, got some nice players, but everything in the roster after that is just dead. I mean, they got Cole Calhoun, okay, so nice player, but four guys can't win anything really with it, but they're nice names.
Right. So are you going to go with Seattle for American League West?
No, I'm going to go with Houston.
Houston, okay, all right.
I'm going to go with Houston, and it kind of goes to the Mets, not picking the Mets over the other team that I picked in the division there, the Braves, is that I need to see it. Like, show me at Seattle. But right now, Astros kind of have a proven track record a little bit. And I think Verlander still is a money pitcher. I think he can still be a money pitcher.
I hope so. I have him on one of my fantasy baseball teams. I hope he does well this year. All right, let's bring on Rob. Rob, talk to us a little bit about Trout. What do you think the Angels should do? I mean, they've been wasting this guy's career. One of the best baseball players, probably the best baseball player in the game today. Should the Angels really think about maybe getting rid of him and trading him?
I actually don't. I think that Trout can have a shot with the Los Angeles Angels. I'm actually going to pick the Angels to win the division this year, which is probably, what most people wouldn't say. I do think Houston's going to have their problems. Seattle is going to be a good team, but I think this is the year Trout's going to be healthy this year. We're going to have Ohtani have a ridiculous season. We've got Thor, Noah Syndergaard going to the Angels. So you got Thor, you got Ohtani pitching. Trout's going to be healthy. Rendon, I think the Angels are going to win the division this year. It's a pretty bold prediction, but I think they're going to do it. And I think Trout's going to have a shot at the playoffs and maybe a ring in a year or two.
Wow. Well, my PSA 10 Mike Trout Tops Update rookie would thank you if that would happen, because that would shoot through the roof if he ever got into the playoffs, let alone get to the World Series on a national stage. That would be unbelievable if Trout did that. I'm going to actually go with Seattle. The Vances are going to like this. I think this is Seattle's time. I think Houston's going to take a step back. Losing Correa is going to be big. I don't think they got the pitching at all in Houston. They still got Tuve and Bregman and stuff, but I think they're going to take a step back. Seattle, not even counting the guys they just brought in, but you got Kyle Lewis coming back. He only played in a handful of games last year. The former American League Rookie of the Year. You got him coming in. You got Julio Rodriguez. You got my boy Logan Gilbert pitching. I love me some Logan Gilbert. I think it's Seattle's time. I think the Angels are going to be up there too. And of course, it's going to be a very tough division. Everybody's going after it. Nobody's given up on this division. You got Texas going in all in with Seager and Marcus Semien. You got Seattle spending money. And of course, you got Houston and the Angels, who are always up there on that division. You got 4 teams going after that. And none of them, this isn't like the National League Central where you have 3 teams giving up. Every team is trying to win this division. And I think that's pretty awesome. And I think every team's got a decent chance. But I can see it going down to the last weekend series or something. But my money is on Seattle this year. I think Seattle's going to do it. So hopefully they will pull it out for the Vances, because I know they would be super excited. All right, we're going to do a special segment tonight. Hopefully he is ready, but we're going to bring back on Rob the Shark from RTS Sports Cards, because we're going to do something. I asked Rob to do something special. Okay. I know Rob knows more. If you watch any of his streams, especially his Bowman Draft stream breaks, this guy knows guys I'd never even heard of. Okay. He knows where they went to high school, everything. So I'm going to do a little segment called Rob's Rookies. Rob is going to tell us the top rookies for 2022. Now, Rob, your qualifications for this, are these guys that are going to be in the major leagues producing, or are these guys maybe down the road further on?
What I went with these are guys that are going to make a mock in Major League Baseball this year. At some point, they will either start at the beginning of the season, or they will come into the league and make a mock. What I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to take my earbuds out because my phone is about to die. So I'm going to plug in my phone and give you my top 10 rookies based on their performance this year. This mic will pick it up. There we go. Okay. At number 10, I've got a player named O'Neal Cruz. Originally, I believe, came in with the Dodgers, is a Pirate right now. He's a shortstop over there for the Pittsburgh Pirates. I think he will, at some point, make a mock in the Major League Baseball. Number 9, I have Alek Thomas of the Arizona Diamondbacks. He's had a good minor league career now. He's had a 312 average in the minors there, 30 home runs, and he's actually growing into power. His power numbers are getting better and better each year. And I actually have him as one of the number one things if you want to invest in baseball cards. His first Bowman Chrome auto, only about $75, $80 now. Now, he is from a small team, so you might have to wait for him to eventually get picked up by a bigger market. But Alek Thomas, first Bowman Chrome autos, I have him at number 9. I think it's a good investment. Number 8, I have Josh Young of the Rangers there. He's had a ridiculous minor leagues, about 340 average. He's got some power as well. Obviously, Rangers, kind of a young team. I do see him making it to the big leagues and definitely making a mock there for the Rangers. Number 7 is kind of an unheard guy. His name is Jose Miranda. of the Minnesota Twins. This guy batting .344 in the minors, 30 home runs. And here's the most important number about him. His K rate is about 10%. An average player around the 20s. This guy is only striking out about 10% of the time. .344 batting average in the minors. Jose Miranda. Remember that name, because he will make a mark in the MLB. Number 6 and 5, I have 2 Detroit Tigers there for Card Shark Chris. Number 6 could be number 1 for some other people. I have Spencer Torkelson all the way down at number 6. Average, in the 260s, 250s usually. Obviously has a lot of power, but if he doesn't get that average up, not going to be a long-term great player. Number 5, I have Riley Green. He's got the average, he's got the power, and he's only 20 years old. He could make his Major League Baseball debut. I think his debut. I'm not sure if he's actually had a couple of bats thus far, but under age 21. So definitely look for Riley Green. I definitely think he's going to be a huge player. Number 4, some people's number 1s. I have Adley Rutschman. Look, great prospect. His average 260s, 270s. I think a lot of people have him at number 1, number 2 because of his position. Obviously, catcher, very hard position to play defensively and to be able to hit well. I have him at number 4. Obviously, he's got some power. He's about 23, 24 now. Number 3, who didn't make some people's top 10s, I have Tristan Casas of the Boston Red Sox. Guy's got a lot of power. Average 260s, 270s, but that has been improving. So if he gets his average up to about the 300 with that strong power, in fact, Arizona Fall League, obviously not a lot of at-bats, but 372 in the Arizona Fall League 2021. So definitely look for that name, Tristan Casas, Boston Red Sox. Number 2, Bobby Witt Jr., obviously great shortstop. I'm sure he's number 1 on a lot of lists. I have him as number 2. Great average, great power. And number 1, I have J-Rod, Julio Rodriguez. He's kind of got all the tools. 331 minor league career average, 30 home runs, only 20 years old. I expect him to make a huge splash for the Seattle Mariners this year.
And Mike Vance just told us here that J-Rod has been named the starting center fielder for Seattle. So that goes right in your I do have one prospect you did not mention. I wanted to ask. Nolan Gorman, St. Louis Cardinals.
He was right outside my top 10.
Okay, because that guy's got a lot of power. I mean, his average might not be great, but that boy can hit for power, and he should get a chance this year in St. Louis.
I had him at about number 11, number 12. My concern was definitely the average obviously does have the power, and he does have some speed. So I definitely have him at about number 11.
Okay. And where's my boy Joey Bart?
Didn't have him in there.
I mean, come on. He's going to be starting catcher. We know that. That's all right, man. I forgive you. So, Rob, you got one more giveaway. I think you got one more trivia question, don't you?
Okay, we got one more giveaway for another one of these Wander Franco's Tops Living. It is going to be a trivia question, so get ready to type in the chat. Here we go. Another Mets question, because I'm a Mets fan. I got to represent. What was the first year that the Mets won the World Series? What year was the first year that the Mets won the World Series?
You already did that trivia question.
No, the first year.
Oh, the first year. First year. See, I got that wrong.
First year that the Mets won the World Series. 86 was the last time they won it. They were in the World Series in 2015, losing it to the Royals. They lost to the Yankees in 2000, but they won it in 86. But what was their first one?
All right, we got some answers coming in. We got Adam McKenzie's first. He says 1969.
And he is correct. If he's the first, that is the correct one.
Adam McKenzie, make sure you get a hold of me or Rob over at RTS Sportscards. We'll get you that Wander Franco. That is awesome. Rob, thank you for giving away 2 Wander Franco. That was way more than you could have. I'll have to get you something to replace that. But that was very nice. You giving away 2 Wander Francos like that, and they were only available on Topps.com, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm sure they're on eBay now, but yeah, I got
right.
Topps.com,
But originally they were only on Topps.com, and they probably sold out pretty quick.
Yeah. No, the pop report is pretty darn high on those, but yeah.
It's got to be lower than the 2022 Topps base card of it, though.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, definitely. So, all right. Adam McKenzie says he'll send me an email. Let's bring on Card Shark Chris, because I gave Card Shark Chris a task. Let's see if he did it. I want to know who's going to win the MVP for both leagues and who's going to win the Cy Young for both leagues.
Okay, we'll start with the American League. It's just my preference and Lindy's preference. We're going to go with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Where he bats in the lineup, it's going to be getting some decent looks. We're looking for some power out of Vladdy. And that's who we have there. And as far as Cy Young, I'm going to go with, this one's tough. For the American League, I'll just say Shane Bieber, just because he's been super, super rock solid for the Guardians.
All right. What about the National? Did you say the National League?
Oh, the National League. I thought maybe you wanted, you were going to get, have a little input on my thing. Anyways, for the National League.
I can give you some. I was going to give you input at the end.
Let me go. Okay, at the end. We can do it at the end. National League, the MVP is going to be tough, man, because I think the obvious choice is to go with Fernando Tatis Jr. But he's hurt, so and I think that's also the same thing in the American League. You could go back with Ohtani again, or maybe even the Trout if he has a great year. National League, I'm going to go out on a limb and say I think Freddie Freeman might just go tear it up out in LA. Going from the east side to the west side, getting some major love from the fans out there. Maybe he's feeling it, and that's going to be my guess. And as far as the Cy Young winner, I'm going to stick with Wheeler from the Phillies. I think he's yeah. I think the Mets got a couple great pitchers too that could probably win, but I'm going to go with Wheeler.
Well, probably what happened with the Mets is they'll split the votes probably when they're voting on, the Cy Young. They'll probably split, kind of like they do on the Heisman Trophy. I don't know, they split the votes, the Heisman Trophy on the voting on that. All right, so American League, you're going Vladimir Guerrero Jr. You're not afraid he's going to regress a little bit, maybe? Because 2 years ago he did not really have that great of a year.
He didn't, and I don't. I just like to think that he's going to continue to blossom, and he's going to be like. I think he's got the young hipness to him, kind of like a Fernando Tatis does. Maybe not quite as much swag, but there's still some there. I like that he's a big boy, and he's hitting the ball deep. So, I don't think it's a surefire thing, but I think if he keeps going, Ohtani. My gosh, he could repeat for sure, But
that's what I was going to bring up. A lot of people in the comments are all saying Ohtani, but it's tough. He's got to outdo what he did last year, really, to get the votes, and that's tough to do.
And what he does, pitching, designating hitting, pinch hitting, that's a lot of work. And he's a hell of an athlete. Just a tremendous athlete. But, having that extra duty, that double duty does put a little extra wear and tear. It's almost like I think maybe that was the magical season, because you can be good at a lot of things, but if you're not great at just one of them, you know what I mean? That to me I just sense that maybe, the stars kind of aligned for him last year. But it doesn't mean he's not a great player. I think he's, a generational player for sure.
Right. And what do you think about the rule change Major League Baseball is making for him? Where if he's going to be a starting pitcher and a DH in the same game, if they take him out of starting pitcher, he can remain in as DH.
That's great.
Yeah.
Baseball gets wrapped up in this whole tradition thing, which I think there should be some of that. But if they want to attract the fans and keep the fans engaged, they're going to have to do some of these things. And people turned out to watch Ohtani play. And if that's a strategy, if there's other players that they can incorporate it into it, then that's cool too. Like, let's do it. Like, let's see it. Let's have some fun out there.
fun and baseball. Oh, those words don't go together. Those words don't go together. All right, and the National League. I think you're right on Freeman. I can see Freeman. He's gonna have so much incentive to show the Braves that they should have gave him some money and allowed him to stay in Atlanta. He's gonna be on fire, I think. And then Wheeler. I think Wheeler's a good choice. It's gonna be tough. The Cy Youngs are really tough to predict, really. Mm-hmm. The guy has to stay healthy, number one, which is tough for a pitcher. And number two, you got to be on, you got to have the good luck getting those wins. You got to have a great ERA. It's tough. It's a lot easier, I think, to pick the MVP than I think is Cy Young.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, let's bring back Rob the Shark. Let's have all three of us on now because we're going to predict World Series predictions right now. Now, football, if you guys remember, none of us got the Super Bowl even right. Okay, none of us. Okay, but I do have to give you guys some pointers. You guys both picked division winners really good in our NFL preview show. So you guys did a very good job for that. But Super Bowl, we crapped the bed. We didn't even get one team in. None of us did. No. So, but this is baseball, and we are baseball prognosticators. So we'll start with Rob the Shark. Rob, tell us World Series prediction. Who's going to be in it, and who's going to win the World Series?
All right, this is going to be an exciting one this year. It's going to be a repeat of 2000 Subway Series. Mets, Yankees. Mets are going to win it in 7. I'm not just saying that because I'm a Mets fan. I truly believe the Mets are going to make it to the World Series. On the back of pitching, on the back of, Alonso and some other guys, Lindor. I think the Mets beat the Yankees in 7 games.
Wow. Is Mike Piazza going to come out of retirement and play too? Or
he is not, but I'm sure they're going to bring him in for something.
They'll definitely bring him in. All right. Let's go over to Card Shark Chris. Card Shark Chris, are you going to be a homer like Rob is and pick the Tigers?
No, but I wonder if they do have that Subway Series again. Is there going to be a ceremonial bat throwing?
They might. I mean, Clemens probably available. He could probably do it.
Oh boy, that was awesome. World Series in the American League. I actually like the White Sox. I like the pitching. I think they got some hitters. The National League. Let me see what Lindy had to say about the National League.
See what Miss Lindsay has to say.
Dodgers. It's so easy to pick the Dodgers. So we'll go with the Dodgers, yeah.
All right, who's going to win?
The winner, first team to win 4 games.
Which will be
the White Sox, because I'm an AL Central fan.
Wow. Yep. All right. He's going with the White Sox. Now, I picked the same 2 teams Card Shark Chris did. I picked the White Sox and Dodgers. I think the White Sox, they're young hitters. Hopefully they can go out and maybe a trade deadline, add another pitcher, because I think they're going to need another pitcher or 2 on that team. And, of course, the new evil empire, the LA Dodgers, I think they're going to go through the National League pretty easily. But I'm going to predict the Dodgers to win the World. Man, it hurts me to say that. It really does. I know Dave's going to love that prediction over at Zero Fox Sports Cards, but oh man, I hate it. But I think the Dodgers are the team to beat. I really do. Freddie Freeman is going to be a beast this year. I think he's definitely going to win the National League MVP. He's going to be running away with it, I think. But hopefully you guys all have some Freddie Freeman rookie cards around, because I think they're going to skyrocket once he starts doing great. But yeah, I'm with Card Shark Chris. White Sox, Dodgers, going a little different. Dodgers are going to win it all this year. All right, let's bring back Rob the Shark. Rob, I want to thank you for being a guest tonight. What do you guys going over at RTS Sports Cards on YouTube?
We got some breaks coming up, guys. I don't have anything scheduled, but be sure and look out for box breaks from RTS Sports Cards. I'm the 557th best box breaker in the world, so be sure and tune for lots of box breaks. Guys, if you haven't participated in any box breaks with me, they're a lot of fun. I've got extras at the end. They're kind of game show style at the very end. I always advertise as like $50 to $100 in extras at the end. It always ends up going over. So the value is there. Be sure and check out the little guy, RTS Sports Cards. You can look on RTS Sports Cards, eBay, I'm always listing things on RTS Sportscards Instagram. You check out RTS Sportscards on Facebook. I even have a Twitter with like 4 followers on there, so be sure and check that out. But be sure and look for box breaks coming from RTS Sportscards.
I'm telling you what, guys, he just gave away 2 Wander Franco rookies on a show that he's not getting anything out of. What do you think he's going to get? No. What do you think he's going to give away on his channel on his break where you're paying to be in the break? He gives away a lot better stuff than just some Wander Franco rookies. And I'll tell you what, I don't do breaks at all, hardly. But when I do a break, it's always with RTS Sports Cards. He is the number 1 breaker, not 500 and whatever. Number 1 breaker in YouTube and eBay. Check him out. Rob, thanks for being on tonight. And we're going to see you Thursday, April 28th for the NFL Draft Special, right?
Definitely, sure.
He's going to be covering the New York Giants. That's going to be a great show. Rob's going to be a big part of that. So thanks for coming on, Rob.
Thanks for having me.
All right, let's bring on another guy, Card Shark Chris. He's been doing videos again. He's got a great new logo, and he's doing videos. What do you have coming up on the channel, Card Shark Chris?
Man, believe it or not, I have some basketball cards to open up. I ran into 2 separate basketball products at Wally World, and we will be opening one on the channel this week. Possibly a Hotbox cards later in the week. And then for Sunday, I'm not sure yet.
Okay. So you're up to what, November, I think now, right? Hotbox
yeah,
cards.
November. But you know what? I might just open November and December personally to enjoy the experience.
Oh, December one you got to open up on channel because that's my gift one. That's the Santa Claus gift.
Okay. We will definitely do December. But yeah, I've got I swear to God, I've got 9 boxes of Loot Crate sitting back over here. I haven't opened up either. So yeah, we're just gonna start picking one, throw it out there, open it up, see what's in it, and go from there.
And tell us a little bit about your new logo you got made. Who made that for you? What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's sweet. It was south of the border cards. He hooked me up, talked to him, and I just said, I want a fierce shark, real fierce, almost scared to maybe push the button on the channel to watch a video. That shark is terrifying. And he did, and I want a little Sparty logo on it. So he kind of updated it for me, and he does great graphic arts. And so hit up south of the border if you need something done, man. He's very reasonable too. Good.
And you're doing you're playing MLB the show, I think, right?
I just started backing up. I just started playing MLB 20 with the Reds. I just finished the season. I think we finished 3 games out of first place. No chance at the wild card. Finished a couple games above 500. So probably tomorrow I'll stream the off season sometime in the morning, and I'll have a video up Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday.
Now, when you're playing, you don't actually see the chat, do you?
No, I don't.
Because I was in the live chat going, I forget who you were playing. You were playing some other team. And I was like, go Brewers or whatever.
Oh, yeah. No, I you know, what I do is because, it cuts down the size of the screen if you put the chat on the screen. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes I'll turn my phone on and pause the video so I can just see the live chat. And I probably wasn't doing it that time.
Well, Mike Vance is challenging you to a game sometime, Card Shark.
Oh, man, I'm not good. I don't even pitch, and I'm not even going to lie. I have the hitting on a fairly easy level just because, I mean, that game can get frustratingly tough.
Yeah.
When you play against someone who really knows how to, it's like Madden. If I try to play one of my kids in Madden, I mean, I just want to quit. It's not fair.
You got to play your own age, people. That seems more fair. Play your own age.
It is. And I'll tell you what, the Madden games are terrible compared to what they used to be. I mean, it's not realistic. It's not fun. Don't play it, kids. Do something different.
Well, it's still not as good as Tecmo Bowl. That was my game.
No, Tecmo Bowl was great. Tecmo Bowl. I liked the little John Elway quarterback football was a fun one too. But Tecmo Bowl, Super Tecmo Bowl was great too. When you could save your season without having to enter in the codes and stuff, is good stuff.
Definitely. So make sure everybody checks out Card Shark Chris on YouTube. Just search for Card Shark Chris. It will come up. And like I said, for those of you guys who are not Hotbox subscribers, you watch one of his Hotbox videos, he sometimes, has a little something special for you on his channel. So make sure you check that out. He's got a whole bunch of hot boxes to open. And I'm going to be shipping him an April one here in the next week or two. That'll go on the pile.
They're right over there, man. Not even going. Yeah, we got 5 of them.
Yeah, you do, man. So keep working through them. I appreciate it. I like your one chance. You finally opened something cards that was not Hotbox, and you said it's time for another video. No, I'm not opening a Hotbox. And I was like, gosh, darn it.
Yeah, you had a good run going. You had a good streak on the channel.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you coming on. You're going to be on our Thursday NFL draft show too, right?
Yeah, is that this Thursday?
No, it's April 28th. The NFL draft.
Oh wow, we got some time. Yeah. Okay.
Well, yeah,
April
I know.
28th.
I just want to confirm that you will be on.
Yeah. Well, I'm really hoping that that the check for today's show arrives in time for the 28th.
It should arrive.
It should.
I don't know if it's gonna bounce or not, but it will arrive.
Right. It's not signed. It's not filled out. But there will be a check in the mail.
You know, one time my dad accidentally grabbed one of my checks and signed his name on it, and my bank cashed it.
Oh, I bet, man. They don't need those. They just shoving it through. They shove it through.
All right, Card Shark Chris, thanks for coming on, man. Checks in the mail, and I will see you Thursday, April 28th for the NFL Draft Show.
Sounds good.
All right, guys, that is all the time I got for tonight, man. We did really good on time. I wanted to be about an hour long, and we're hitting that. We gave away some great stuff tonight, guys. Want to thank Rob from RTS Sportscards for giving away those Wander Franco cards. Holy crap, I couldn't give away those. I didn't even have any, but Rob's got them. And I want to thank all you guys for joining us. Make sure, again, if you're on YouTube and Facebook, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. We're here every Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. 9 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and Facebook Live. We'll be back to our regular programming next week. We'll be opening up some packs. I just found a bag of stuff that I bought that I never opened, and I totally forgot about. So we'll probably do that here, probably coming up pretty soon. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the MLB special. Make sure you write down those rookies that Rob talked about, because those are good guys to invest some money into. Might want to make a little money there once those guys do well. And go out and bet on those World Series teams we picked, because anything like our Super Bowl predictions, you'll lose a lot of money. But maybe we'll do well this year. Who knows? All right, thank you guys again. We'll see you guys next Monday, and don't forget, put on your calendars Thursday, April 28th, 8 p.m. Eastern, a special edition, the Monday Night Huddle show, a special edition on Thursday. We're going to be actually streaming live the NFL first round of the NFL draft. We're going to have the ESPN thing up, and then we're going to have analysts from all over the country. Rob's going to join us, Card Shark Chris, Dave over on the West Coast, and we have a couple other YouTuber prognosticators going to come on and give you the inside scoop on the first round of the NFL draft. Going to be fun time, guys. I'll catch you guys later. It is way past my bedtime. I got to get out of here. Be safe and have a great evening.